That ends our item.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right. Moving to the actual consent agenda. Would any board members like to pull an item from the consent agenda?
I would like to pull item number 1, please.
Okay. Item number 1 is pulled. Any other items? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to approve items 2 through 40 on the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Yang, seconded by Ms. Albiani. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Ms. Moore, item number 1.
Yes, as I mentioned, I'm pulling this item and I intend to make a motion that we move this item to a future board meeting agenda as a standalone item. The reason I make this request is because I believe it's not appropriate to put a controversial item within the consent agenda. We have this item listed as high school graduation requirements, but I believe that we should be fully transparent that we are voting to require ethnic studies for current or incoming 7th grade children and younger as freshmen in order to graduate high school. As I mentioned, this is a controversial curriculum and we should not be placing controversial items on the consent agenda. It's so controversial that our own governor and legislators have not provided funding for the program. I will be referencing an article from EdSource titled, "The Clock is Ticking, Ethnic Studies Remains an Unfunded Mandate. What Will Newsom Do?" And this is from December 12th, 2024. It says, "The lack of funding is creating uncertainty about the future of ethnic studies and suspense about whether Newsom will deliver the money next month when he proposes his 2025-26 budget, and as importantly, whether he will condition funding on amendments to the law, Assembly Bill 101, including those championed by the Jewish Legislative Caucus." And again, this is from December, and he never appropriated the money. This quote, this is a quote, it says, "I come at this with a fresh set of eyes. It's pretty clear that the law only really takes effect if there's funding for this during the budgetary process. There's been no budget allocated for that," end quote. This was from Assembly Member David Alvarez, who's a Democrat from San Diego. And Amber Alexander, representing the Department of Finance, clarified that the $50 million was one-time funding for districts to create, not implement the graduation mandate. Nor, she added, does the Finance Department believe the $50 million would be sufficient should the mandate progress. One more quote. Mike Torres, director of the Curriculum Frameworks Division of the California Department of Education, said, "Gearing up for this requirement is likely to be a multi-year process with costs exceeding $50 million statewide for districts to make that happen." In an analysis of the financial impact of AB 101, the Finance Department estimated the implementation cost of ethnic studies at $272 million. Alvarez said that the 2021 ballpark estimate would need to be recalculated and wouldn't hazard a guess of the cost other than to say it would be well over $100 million annually to reimburse districts. And several districts around the state have postponed implementing ethnic studies or even rolled back their implementations. So why are we plowing ahead when our own governor and legislators are not sure if the curriculum is even worth funding? This doesn't seem responsible to move forward with this curriculum as a consent agenda item, as I mentioned. I believe that we need to properly discuss the appropriateness of moving forward and the timeline at which we should do so. I'm also highly concerned that we never previewed this item to the community. Looking through the presentation from 2022, I'm sure many parents would like to know more about their students learning about the intersectionality of gender and sexuality. So we should preview that to the community. I believe it is our responsibility to give the community opportunities to be involved with curriculum implementation, especially when curriculum involves controversial topics like sexuality. I also believe it's not responsible to require curriculum when it has not even been appropriated by our governor and legislators. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you made a motion. So if I paraphrase incorrectly, please correct me. The motion is to move this item to a future agenda.
That's correct. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a second for that motion? Hearing none, the motion fails for lack of a second. I will entertain a motion to approve agenda